and I'm privileged this wonderful evening to meet Vicky and Martin, who are fellow young people like me, and are also passionate about the young people and would like to talk about the youth. So Vicky and Martin, kindly feel welcome, and I believe that you'll gain a lot from this. Hi Vicky.
Hi.
So what do you think about the young people in our generation?
As young people, we are going through so many challenges. There's so many challenges among the youth in terms of purity and making decisions and esteem. So actually, the self-esteem of young youth is kind of low since they're not assertive actually. So it's difficult for people to make decisions. So they just follow with the click that they have. Yeah, so that's what I think the basic challenge among the youth.
Oh, that's amazing. Let us listen from Martin. Yes, Martin, what do you think about the young people?
The young mostly they are affected in their way of expression, like mostly not being understood by their adults, and then the quality of life they lead because they don't have like that mentorship towards doing some making some decisions or getting to do some things, but they do it out of their pressure instead of being directed or having a motivation to do something.
Oh, that's amazing. It's just wonderful that you people can like so aggressive and you can say that about us as the young people. And this wonderful evening, I feel like we have been privileged to know who exactly are the youths, and we've like highlighted their problems. And now I would like us to put something on the table that can help the youths to become who they are. What would you suggest?
Okay. The first thing I would suggest is like the youths should have a mentor. Because if you have a mentor, it will be easy for you to build your life. You'll have someone that you look up to. You don't just make decisions out of nowhere. You just don't have to go as per what others are saying or as per what the generation is saying. So you'll have to make your own decision as yourself and stand by yourself since you know where you're heading. So setting goals is also something else that we as youths need to have. We set our own goals so that we don't have to go away from what you're saying. So we have to concentrate on what it is that we have for ourselves. So if we have a goal, we'll be able to work towards it. But if we don't have a goal, we'll end up going with what is around us. So if people say this is what you're supposed to do, then you just go by that. If others say this is not what you're supposed to do, so you won't do it. But if we have a goal, if we have a mentor, and above all, putting God as the center of everything, then that will bring a light. Since you know, I have God at the center of everything, God is before me. So what I have to do is supposed to be something that God allows. It has to be something that is based on God. Yes, that is what I can say.
That's amazing. I love your point on having a mentor. And the other factor that you suggested that we should also have our goals, like we know what to prioritize. My question comes in that in most cases we tend to have our goals and at times they don't work as we expect. And then we get to the point where we are being discouraged. We feel like it's the end of it all. So what would you like advise us to do when you get to a point whereby it's a goal I've set? Let's say I've said by the time I'm 25 I should be having my car. I'm at 25 and there is no even any like the chances that I'll have a car are minimal. Then what should I do? Should I stop it at that, or
Okay. So at any point that you have a goal, and okay, when you're setting a goal, we have two types of goals. There's a short-term goal and there's a long-term goal. So when you're setting a goal, you have to set something that is achievable. You can't say like, okay, I'm a student, so I can't say that I'm expecting in the 2 years to come, I should be having a big house and a big job and everything. Like, it's not workable. So when you're making goals, actually that is something also we need to discuss about making goals. We don't just set a goal because you want it. You have to have a short-term goal and a long-term goal so that you can reduce the disappointment. If you say, for example, being a student, I know that I'm supposed to be graduating in a certain number of years, so I should be setting a goal of how to perform so that I may graduate with my first class, with my second class, or whichever graduation class you would like to. And then if you know that maybe I'm supposed to finish my degree and do a master's or do a PhD, or I'm supposed to do a job and then do my PhD. So you see, that is how it goes. You don't just set a goal out of nowhere. So if we set achievable goals, that is a short-term goal, then we'll avoid the disappointments because you won't achieve your goal. Yes.
Well, that's amazing. And you, Martin?
I can talk about the place of vision. Vision is very key in terms of even achieving goals, getting to achieve goals. Because if you don't have vision, then there's nowhere you are trying to head. There's nowhere your focus is on, or this is where I want to get. This is what I require to get to this place or to this point. And the place of vision is really key. And the most important thing is that the youth be enlightened concerning the place of vision, and to come to clarity of these things, and also getting to understand that not everybody will be able to go through the process that is already outlined, that you are born, you get to go to school and get a degree, then go out there and search for a job. It is not all the time that it will be that way, because sometimes you'll find that you can also find other means. You can find yourself, like for example, you are not able to get to university. It does not mean that life is now ending from there. There's still life that you have to go through.
Sure.
And it is not, you don't have to follow through that route, because you find that most parents enforce this thing that you must get a good grade, go to a good school, do a good course, finish the course, and then search for a job, because we also need to encourage entrepreneurship among the youth. Like you find that if we are able to empower the youth, if you now look at the generation that is to come, we are going to be able to be like financially stable even as a country concerning the same.
That's amazing. You've all talked, like, it's like you're basing your arguments around goals and how to go about it. And I believe as the youths, we are learning something out of this program, that even as we start, we shall have a way to kick off us from today, and we shall be able to expound and learn more and tend to build ourselves from this. I'm really grateful for your time, Vicky, as well as Martin. You're such a blessing, and thank you for using your voice for the sake of our fellow young.